Good day, folks. It's DIY Guy 123 here, bringing you another do-it-yourself video. Okay, so here's a quick update. So what I noticed is even after changing the burner out, I was confused about which sensor caused the lights to be on back here. Now this particular stove, not all of them work this way. This particular stove, the element on light comes on when any of these dials are turned anything but the off position. But these lights only come on when the sensor is hot. So what I found was this particular control right here, the element on light was always on, and I figured it out. It was this one because on the back of the controls, on this particular one, let's see, it was the bottom left. And it's identified as 2-P or just P. And when you, and so looking at this orientation, it's just to the left of that red dot. It's the bottom left plug, or bottom left connector. In this case, it's that purple wire right there. So when I would pull that wire off, the element on light over here would go out. And to be double sure, and it was, of course, the unit in my hand that's the problem, which came out of the far right location right here. To be double sure, I disconnected all the wires from this controller and moved all the wires from here over to this controller, and the element on light was not on. So now that I know this was the problem, I could just replace it, and that's probably what I'll end up doing, but I thought, why not take it apart and see what's inside of it? So to get it apart, I took a thin flat screwdriver like this and looked just like that. And so I stuck my screwdriver in here, pried open this little tab, okay, bent that out like that, did the same thing on the other side, and now the top of this comes off, and this is the control. It's kind of like a cammed type of thing there. This is the control that you're twisting. That comes off, and the terminal that was causing the problem was this one. And so if I look inside right here, there's this little copper thing that will move back and forth like that. Can you see that? Anyway, it was completely stuck down there. And it took some prying around, but I eventually got it to come off. And so now it's behaving the way it should be. So there must have been some kind of an arc that made it kind of basically fuse there. So I'm going to put this back together, and we'll see if the light no longer is stuck on. And here we are. I've got the cover back in place. It only goes on one way, so you can't screw it up. And look, that's all it takes to bend that back in. In fact, I'll do something a little bit better than that, but there's not much required to get that to bend back in. So, after squeezing those back together, those tabs are now in place. Okay, so here we are with it back together. Of course, I put this controlling unit in the back, hooked up the wires to it, put these two screws on, and then plugged it in, and the knob just simply pushes on like that. Now, when you turn on, I'm going to zoom out a bit, but focus on this element on light right here. When I turn any of these on, the element on light came on. The element on light goes off. Oh, the warmer zone I guess doesn't count. That's why it didn't come on there. That comes on. That comes on. Warmer drawer doesn't count as an element, I guess. That comes on. And then this comes on. So any of the four main elements trigger that to come on. Now, what causes this light to come on, this light right here, watch, I'll turn that on. The element light just came on, but this light's not on, and you can see the burner started. Well, of course can't see because all put together, but this is the burner that I had replaced, and oh, and now that's lit up. Well, that's the heat sensor. Same thing over here. Let's turn this rear one on, the right rear. We'll turn it on high. Element light came right on. This is lit. Not lit, but heating up. And you'll see in a moment, this light will come on right here when that heats up. It will. Trust me. There it goes. Right? So these lights on this stove indicate that the element is hot. And they will stay on until the element cools down. This light on this stove indicates that one of the burners has it in the on position. Now here's another stove, different type of stove. The first one was a Kenmore. This one's a Frigidaire. Now this one, when you turn it on, instantly that light comes on. Right? So, that's what these lights are. So I'll leave that on for a minute. And I'm guessing that so that's this burner lighting up. When it gets hot enough, I'm guessing that hot surface light will kick on. So it behaves the reverse compared to that other stove, which I find, there it is. There it is. So look, you may have a stove that the hot surface light comes on when these things are hot, and then the light beside the individual control comes on anytime the control is on. Or you could have a stove that has an element on light separate, which comes on whenever any of your burners are turned on, but the light above them doesn't come on until it's hot, which is the reverse. And here is yet a third kind of stove. Now this stove has lights above each of the burner controls, but no element on light that's separate. When you turn this on, the light instantly comes on. Okay? See that? Okay. And after the burner heats up, actually I'll turn the small one on. After the burner heats up and you turn this off, the light still stays on. So this is a third way that these lights can be configured. See? Still on. So it makes it very difficult to troubleshoot these things. You better know what your stove is supposed to do before you start trying to fix something. And eventually that will cool off and that light will go out. Just want to show that to you side by side. It was really confusing to me. And I don't know why there's a standard like that that's different, but there is. If you like my videos, please subscribe. Good luck with your do-it-yourself.